what I'm looking forward to is actually creating the content over the 2 days at the podcast show and showing people upfront that how easy it is with Limor to make a podcast or a social audio comment or whatever we do on the day, that we'll be showing people what it is that we do and what it is they can do once they have a Limor Enterprise package.
Exactly. And we better touch on that, like what Limor Enterprise is all about. So we have basic entry, freemium Limor, where you can set up a profile like you would on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter and instantly start recording audio or podcast straight from your phone. But what is very special and unique about the Limor Enterprise offering, which is for corporates, mainly small, medium enterprise businesses, or even influencers who have an organization themselves. Enterprise gives you an organization profile, a business profile. And once you get that business profile, you then have access to advanced features, one being a content management system that you can access via desktop, and you can also upload pre-recorded audio to your Limor profile, which means it automatically becomes interactive audio because it's distributed on the Limor app. You can schedule that as well, which is very useful as a content creator. And what is very unique is the ability to link accounts. So what does that mean for an enterprise user? A great example to give is a newspaper. So let's just take a big English newspaper, because we're going to London, a big London newspaper. We won't drop any names because we haven't been sponsored to say so on this cast.
The London Bugle.
Yeah, the Bugle. Okay, we call it the
London Bugle.
The London Bugle. So the London Bugle purchases an enterprise profile of Limor. They then go to their 100 journalists who all set up personal Limor profiles. They can instantly be linked to the new London Bugle enterprise profile. Those 100 journalists are now 100 podcasters, and all they need is their phone and their voice. So they can be anywhere, be it a sports journalist in Twickenham at a Six Nations game between Ireland and England. They can record a cast straight from the stands in their phone. Say they bump into Mike Tyndall, ask him about the game. Could be 2-3 minutes long, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the length of the conversation, and instantly hit share. It will appear on the Limor profile on the app. But as an enterprise user, it will also instantly appear on their website because we have a widget. So it means instant distribution. And then, of course, because it's interactive audio, people can talk to them in the voice comments section of Limor, which is hugely innovative. And with enterprise users, you can reply on behalf of the business or as your own personal profile. And then there's another aspect which you can touch on now as well, Terry, which is huge. And we bring all of our expertise. My 8 years in the space of social audio, your unbelievable expertise in radio and content creation. Enterprise customers get consultancy and coaching on how to become not just a good podcaster, but to become a top 1% podcaster. Give them all the tools for content strategy, et cetera, and how to scale it. So do you want to touch on that a little bit, Terry, bringing your creative?
Absolutely, yeah. So from a creative point of view, what we would bring to the table, I suppose, would be thinking outside the box in terms of content. So your normal conversation that you'd have to somebody about your business mightn't necessarily be the one that you're going to push out there straight away. So you want to have imaginative ideas to bring people into your business, to get them interested into your business. What we would do is we would sit down, have a brainstorm, obviously initially, find out what works, what doesn't work. And through conversations that we'd have, obviously we'd be bringing some top level content to it. And again, radio, audio is theater of the mind. And it really is a case of, creating you have a bigger platform to build on when it deals with audio, and you can do it a lot cheaply than you would do with visuals. So you can actually, you can create some serious storytelling with audio than you wouldn't be able to do visually. And within Limor, you can do that absolutely perfectly,
Yeah, and one great example of thinking outside the box that we created for the podcast show, bringing it back to the podcast show, is an innovative audio business card. Because we found one of the most useful user cases for Lemur at networking events for businesses is actually you're having all these amazing conversations with people, business owners, guests, speakers, sponsors. Why not record those conversations that you're having anyway? And they could be 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, short, concise, but extremely powerful and effective. And that's what we do at Lemur. And in essence, those casts are audio business cards, because you're sharing who you are, they're sharing who they are, and it's mutually beneficial. So what we did was we produced a audio business card for Lemur for the podcast show, and it was great fun. The whole process that we would use with our clients, or do use with some of our existing new Limor Enterprise clients, we use ourselves, and the results were, I was over the moon with how well it turned out. And for anyone who wants to listen to that, it's actually on our homepage right now on Lemur. You can visit lemur.ie, limor.ie, and you'll see a picture of myself and Terry, and the option to play the cast, which is an example of the widget on the website as well. Every cast generated on Lemur, the app, generates a unique URL code, which means you don't actually have to have the app to consume the audio. You need the app for content creation and interaction and feedback, etc. But for consumption, it's great for that. And then
that was a perfect example of theater of the mind. It was a conversation we had on the phone that obviously was made up, but to the untrained ear, you might think, well, that was an actual conversation that went down between us. So there's a whole plethora of things that you could do with regard to getting your business out there, normalizing it, and creating the conversations about what your business is and what you do, and everyday examples of how your business works. And you could create situation casts about what your business does as well. So there's pre-produced stuff you can get into as well, especially with Limor Enterprise, that aren't just conversations you're having. You could actually create something, write a script. You could really get creative with the story you're telling about your business.
And that's